RAM prices are awful right now, and it made me rethink the Mac versus PC debate. Macs used to be notoriously expensive, but is the gap really big anymore? With GPUs, RAM, and SSDs increasing in price, the Apple tax looks like a conspiracy theory. If you're looking for a new computer to start off your 2026, I'll guide you through every price range and tell you, without filler, what the best options are from both Mac and PC. If you're looking for a computer for under $1,000, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it's tough. But there is a clear winner if you're open to trying macOS. The base M4 Mac Mini is hands down the best value computer you can buy right now. Coming in at $599 normally, it goes on sale for $499, $449, or if you live near a micro center, it's on sale for $399 right now. An absolute steal. The M4 chip is powerful enough for about 90% of people. School, work, browsing, content creation, no problem. Even light gaming is possible, as long as you understand macOS has limited game compatibility compared to Windows and Linux. If you're buying from Apple, you can configure it to have up to 32GB of unified memory and still be right underneath $1,000. The only real downside is storage going that route. You're stuck with a 256GB SSD, but external drives solve that easily. Internal SSD upgrades are possible, but they require another Mac, so most people should just stick with external drives. But what if you're a lifelong Windows user, or you want to run Linux? Under $1,000, it's possible, but it's very tight. I put together two realistic PC builds using PC Part Picker and Micro Center. Prices fluctuate constantly, so by the time you're watching this, these exact builds might be slightly over or under budget. The PC Part Picker build uses a Ryzen 8500G, 16GB of RAM, a 1TB NVMe, and an 8GB 9060 XT. I don't recommend getting 8GB VRAM GPUs in 2026, but if your budget can't go over $1,000, this is the best balance. Unless you're able to stretch another $100 on the 16GB models, which I would personally recommend. If you want to use Linux, AMD is the best route. I can say from personal experience that NVIDIA GPUs don't always cooperate with Linux. The Micro Center build is better and comfortably fits in a 16GB 9060 XT. Thanks to their CPU, motherboard, and RAM bundles coming back, you get a Ryzen 7600X, a full ATX board and case, and a 16GB 9060 XT while staying close to budget. The only compromise is one stick of 16GB of RAM, which is an easy upgrade later. Moving up to the $1,000 to $1,500 range, there's more breathing room, but it's still not wide open. This is where you start making real trade-offs based on what you actually do. On the Mac side, the base M4 Pro Mac Mini fits this price range perfectly, coming in at $1,399. The base model comes with 24GB of unified memory and 512GB of storage for $1,399, or on sale, it's $1,199. If you'd rather stick with the M4 Mac Mini from earlier, you can add a 1TB SSD, and it's the same price as the base model M4 Pro. The M4 Pro is built for heavier productivity, things like video editing, development, and other forms of creative work. If that's you, the extra horsepower is worth it. If not, the upgraded M4 is still solid. On the PC side, this is where gaming starts to take the lead. The PC Part Picker build includes a 7900X, 32GB of RAM, a 1TB NVMe SSD, and a 16GB 9060 XT, with the option to swap to a 7600X or 9700X if gaming's more of the priority. It's a strong all-around build and a nicer Leon Lee case, but you're clearly paying more for GPU performance. The Micro Center build is what most people expect at this price point. Thanks to their bundles, you get a 7800X3D, 32GB of RAM, and a 9070 XT, which makes this the best balanced option if gaming is your main focus and productivity is secondary. This tier introduces the question, do you want more of a gaming build or productivity build? At $1,000 to $1,500, Macs are extremely competitive for work, but PCs still dominate for gaming, and it's not even close. Once you hit the $1,500 to $2,500 range, a lot more choice opens up, but this is where things can get messy fast. So instead of listing everything, I'll focus on what actually makes sense. On the Mac side, this range is all about memory and sustained performance. With the M4 Pro Mac Mini, you could step up to 48GB of unified memory for $1,799, and 64GB for $19.99, which is an excellent option if your workload is heavy, but you don't need the Max chip. At the same price point, you also have the option of the base M4 Max Studio, and this is where the decision shifts. If your work benefits from more GPU power and longer sustained performance, the Mac Studio starts to make more sense than pushing the Mac Mini further. If you want the better M4 Max chip, Apple automatically bumps the memory to 48GB, bringing the price to $24.99. This is the cleanest no compromises Mac option in this range for serious creators. You can also configure a higher end M4 Pro Mac Mini with 48GB of memory and 1TB for $21.99, or 64GB and 1TB for $23.99, which is a great choice if you value memory and storage more than raw GPU power. The takeaway here is simple: if your work scales with memory and CPU performance, the Mac Mini still makes sense. If it scales with GPU performance and sustained loads, the Mac Studio is a smarter buy. Let's switch to the PC side, and yes, this is where things can get chaotic fast. So I'm going to keep this simple and focus on what actually makes sense. If you want Intel, the CPUs I look at are the 265K, 265KF, or the 285K if you're set on the newest platform. It's a controversial generation, especially for gaming, but for productivity heavy workloads, they can still make sense depending on pricing. For AMD, this tier has a clear winner. The 9800X3D is the star of this range if gaming is your priority. It's still the best top tier gaming performing CPU without jumping into extreme budgets. On the GPU side, you got a few realistic choices: a 9070 XT, a 5070 Ti, or if you can actually find one near MSRP, a 5080, which is supposed to land around $999. Availability is the real wild card here. At this price point, 32GB of RAM remains standard, and storage typically jumps to a 2TB NVMe SSD, which finally removes some of the compromises from the lower ranges. I've also put together a couple higher budget productivity based PC builds as well, featuring a 9950X3D and a 285K, so if you're after more productivity, these builds should work better for you. This is the range where PCs fully lean into gaming performance while still being strong productivity machines, but you're paying for GPU power first and foremost, and this is exactly where PC pricing starts to separate itself because GPUs become the dominant cost. Once you cross the $2,500 budget, the rules change. This is no longer a value tier, it's a priority tier. Right now, people are panic buying RTX 5090s after the rumors they could hit $5,000 this year. The only models you can even find are already over $3,000, and that assumes you can find these models by the time you watch this video. For context, I configured a M4 Max Studio with 64GB of unified memory and 2TB of storage for basically the same price as these 5090s right here. A 9950X3D and RTX 5080 PC build I put together also lands in this range, and once you factor in RAM and storage, these systems are surprisingly close. It gets even crazier when you realize a base model M3 Ultra Max Studio still costs less than the rumored price of the RTX 5090 later this year. This is the point where Mac and PC pricing reach near parity, not because Macs got cheaper, but PC components got dramatically more expensive. Where this goes from here is anyone's guess. PC prices could keep climbing, or Apple could decide to raise prices themselves. This is one of the worst markets we've seen in years for buying a new system. Prices change fast, and some of this may already be outdated by the time you're watching. But the point of this video is simple: cut through the noise and give you clarity. Mac, Windows, or Linux, the right choice is the one that fits you, not whatever the loudest people online are arguing about. If you appreciate clear, no BS tech content, consider showing some support. I'm JustSomeTechie. Catch you all in the next one. See you then.